Greetings and welcome to the showcase video for the Collected Combined Fleet Tournament. I am likely to break this into several different videos. There are a lot of entries to go through. But I'm going to take them in basically in order of class and cost. So the first thing, we've got our only submarine entry, which isn't really truly a submarine. It just happens that once in a while it dips itself below the water entirely. So this is an entry by Blowthorn and is 50k materials, and it's got 14 of these thump frag, top firing, remote guidance missiles, mediums, and 2 of these thump frag, top fires. But yeah, it has a tendency to be, it'll do this sort of bobbing motion and just be a little bit too much for it once in a while. It'll entirely dip itself under on occasion. So, not allowed by ships like that right there, but is allowed by subs. So, centered as a submarine. I'll do a quick check inside, and then I'm gonna toss all of them into combat briefly, just so that there's a little bit of a showcase for how they do. Right, okay, and just having given a quick look inside, it's also got this planar shield here on the front, covering pretty much the entirety, and planar shields on the side, although the engine's having some trouble. You can hear the popping, but let's go ahead and toss it against, where are we? Thunderchild. Just sort of in its weight range. It's a bit more, but you can see the missiles going in, being very accurate as remote guided. And it can take a few hits. I mean, at this size, it's not going to be super duper tanky, but you know, the low profile, being mostly underwater, helps a little bit, and the shielding. Of course, this is not by any means a difficult opponent, but just trying to basically give a little bit of an example on what's going on there. I don't know whether those missiles are just firing straight up.
Good evening.
Ah, hello. Another chap?
Yep.
Hey, yeah, I recognized you. Yeah, so I just started basically doing the showcase video for the collected combined fleet. So you're welcome to join in. I'm on the first entry, which is the only sub, and it's only a sub because it dips itself underwater once in a while. And this is by Blowthorn. It's 50k, and I just tossed it into a little bit of combat against, you know, an easy Steel Striders. Let's also showcase
This is
it.
being recorded, eh?
Oh yes, yes, this is.
including sound. Oh boy.
Yes, yes, your voice is being recorded for posterity. So, all right, let's go ahead and toss in some planes as well. Like to do a spiral squadron. These missiles being remote guided may actually be able to hit fairly well. Yeah, well, deleted the first plane. Not able to tank the hits fairly well. Oh, they're going after this one. Right. Turning ratio's not too bad. Well, they're not quite able to catch it. Alright. Yeah, just gonna do that in brief. So let's see. By the list, next up we have the Minnow version 2. See if I can find it here. There we are. And I'm trying to remember who submitted it. I think it's Henry Wong. It'll tell when I get a brief look inside. I think these were. Um, Maybe I didn't actually write down who submitted each of the ships, so I'll try my best at doing that.
Hello.
Hello, hi Oo.
Should we keep quiet or what?
Oh no, it's fine. You can comment anything that you like. I don't mind.
Inspecting
Yeah,
a Wong ship, I believe? No.
yeah,
Wait.
yes. This is
Yeah.
the Minnow version 2, which I do believe is Henry Wong ship.
Yes, that's a Wong ship.
Yeah, and it's on the cheapest end of the ship, first ship entry in the list. Cheapest that a ship can get at 50K exactly. We've got a couple of entries there, just 50K. I'll be working through the ships by order of cost. So, yeah, at the end on the ships, we'll have basically our capital uh, ships where you can only have one per fleet by cost. So, this one, you're able to toss in uh, a nice sizable escort of these if you want. So, it's got this one 200 millimeter, 47.7 RPM, or well, 47.2 technically. It's like heat. Or not, excuse me. I'm sorry. Hesh. Squash head, yeah. That's not a lot of spalling damage. But first off, just doing the look over. Some of the ships are nicely decorated inside. So we've got this nice little carbine resting against the wall. Little bench table. Another table for eating or playing cards. Head down, there's a storeroom. Some supplies. Looks like a sink and toilets and showers.
I suppose that is when it all goes to shit in battle. They can refresh themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the way to the battle, they've got their needs met, right? Have the lifeboats, so when things go to shit in battle, they can abandon ship.
It's excellent decoration work, if you ask me.
Yes, Henry Wong is extremely proficient at his decorations. That's one of the classic things I've come to expect with all of Wong's designs is they're excellently decorated. And then back here, this is just a dead end. It's a door to nowhere. But here we've got the control room and bunks for crew. And I think this might be a counter, something like a stove maybe. Nice little window. But yeah, gonna toss it into combat briefly, as with all of them. Sure, we'll start with the planes this time. See how the APS does against them. Well, it doesn't have the firing arc to fire right above, which probably won't be too much of a problem. There are not a lot of planes in the pool.
Well, in fleet battles, it tends to be like if it doesn't have the angle, then its allies does. So
yeah,
it should be fine.
True that too. There are a total of 3 plane entries that made it, so we'll see how many planes are utilized. Oh, does this not have the firing arc? It looked like it maybe got stuck for a moment trying to... Oh, I think it might have... I think it might not have firing restrictions set and might be catching? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. It's catching, I believe, on the laser warner. So not able to swing itself entirely around. Toss it in now against Thunderchild. I'm gonna get a chance to see how the damage on the weapon actually is. Being Hesh. It's doing a bit. Of course, with chem shells like this, there's always a chance of getting a lucky hit in on a turret or some vitals. Anyway.
Also seems to have torpedoes, doesn't it?
Indeed. It seems so. Yeah. Oh yes, I forgot about these. It does have 3 medium torpedoes. Underside. Good catch. Let's take a quick look here. They are heat remote guided torpedoes. pretty darn good. Considering there are several entries in the tourney with CIWS. They're vulnerable to attacks from below. As to the ability to tank shots, well, it's not the greatest, but it's not, you know, crumpling under one blow either, so. Potential choice for escort. Seems like the enemy is rolling over, so it's punching above its weight, technically. I think those torpedoes may do some work. Right, let's see. What's up next on the chopping block? Got the Loach, which is also in the ship class. It's 50k exactly, and has 14 top-fire medium frag missiles. Let's see if I can find here. Okay. And this being a very similar design to the last one, based on the ship hull we saw in the last submission, but the weapon complement is different. So it still has the nifty decos, but we've got a number of laser designator missiles to work with. And this time it looks like no torps. Yeah, you guys are free to offer up any thoughts you have on any of the entries.
What is the VLS missile design actually?
There are quite a few missile designs in the tourney. I think one portion of that is because the missiles distract certain meta-defining entries and keep their DPCWs busy.
I will note I have done a fair bit of testing myself, so this is why I'm not giving my opinions too much, because it would be unfair to compare it to other things. But
right, I'm trying to keep
crafts,
an unbiased commentary myself.
Yes. These craft are certainly one of the better looking ones. And the missiles do a good job, as you can see.
Yes. Accurate missiles, I'll say that. And yeah, set up to keep a fair range. Circling as it does, not a brawler by any means. Doing what missile ships do best.
Oh, I figure missile ships and missile craft in general are often brawlers because the weapon system is so well, it's a fairly tanky system.
If you have like thumper missiles, I'm more inclined to agree, but like you know, top firing, not pure thump kind of benefits from keeping a distance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it
granted, there's a case against that if you've got a lot of CWIS going on, where there's more time for the CWIS to take the missiles out, but I'll throw in a few planes as you do. See if the missiles have the accuracy to hit the planes. Well, not on the first pass, it looks. Can they get there from behind? They're struggling.
Making proper AA missiles also being powerful versus surface ships, they're always a tough trade-off.
Yeah, if you've got entirely missile entry, fighting against planes is kind of hard.
well, entries are not supposed to do everything.
That is true.
At,
It is
at least
yeah, it's a
when
fleet
I
tournament,
was
so
yeah, when I was designing for this tournament, I just had a few prototypes in mind that I probably would be facing, and then designed towards that specific purpose, and that worked a bit too well.
yeah, keeping in mind the synergies of your ships and layout for the fleet is definitely worth the time for testing. Let's see what is next. We have the CVG-1, which is Blathorn's other entry, which is very much like the CVG-1H, except that it doesn't pull itself entirely underwater.
Oh, these ones I haven't seen. So this is a submarine?
No, the other version, which is basically identical other than weapon layout, is because it's a bit more aggressive on it pulling itself down. And
oh right, I was merely looking at the altitude being under sea level.
oh, okay. Yeah, the ruling is basically that as long as at least like a meter of ship stays above water and at least a meter stays below water, it counts as a ship, or it counts as surface displacement for me. So it's granted, yeah, it's bobbing itself up and down, but a little bit of the superstructure is staying above water. So this one able to be submitted as a ship. The other one, it wasn't faring quite so well. It would go to about here on the water level.
Oh right, these designs I don't think was in the channel, so I have these are actually new for me. These aren't things that I've seen before.
Yeah, I added them in basically a day after the deadline because they were submitted to me beforehand and I just hadn't seen, so checked them over. The original design was more plain, so I asked him to add a little bit for aesthetics, and it just kind of squeaks by. It's a very subjective matter, of course, but without having a minimum aesthetics, you get some pretty horrid abominations. So
Oh yeah, absolutely, and the aesthetics are indeed hard to judge as well.
Yes, they
But you
are.
you also have to give a little bit of leeway in case some people find it very hard to design aesthetic.
Right, which is why, designs like this or the Sandblaster are like they're right there for me. Um, I mean, they have a little bit of interesting shapes, a little bit of something to break up the, plane geometry. And yeah, I'm kind of trying to hold myself to about the same level, I think, as what Menti aesthetic should be. But it's it's more subjective than I would entirely care for, but I don't see a way around that. So seems
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, no. Judging aesthetics is certainly hard. I've tried it myself, and
yeah,
it's you obviously do have your opinions, but at the same time, you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings too much
right.
as well. So
Seems like the missiles are struggling a little bit to hit the planes, but
what it might be anti-ship missiles, for example.
yeah, most likely. I'll just throw each of the designs up against both the planes and ships. So and I just find that a little faster than actually going through the menu and repairing everything. A rather steady supply on those small missiles, which might be tactical against the Sea Wolf.
Yeah, I think that might be in reference to one of the heavier entries.
I have my suspicions it may as well. Yeah, just be as you say. And keeping itself at a fair distance, but not backpedaling so much it's gonna DQ. So its enemy has officially rolled over.
Oh,
Let's see. Next up, we have the Piranha, which is a ship I myself submitted. It was built for Centerpoint, which I didn't get in time for
ooh,
the
another one I
ships,
haven't
but
seen.
yes, I submitted several entries, kind of last minute.
Yeah, I did. I didn't check the last minute once.
Yeah.
This one is
This one has a little bit of a unique AI routine in that it kind of doesn't do anything movement-wise until the enemy ships get closer. Then it'll zoom in fairly close.
interesting. That is certainly certainly something. I see
Yeah,
it fires quite a decent amount of missiles.
yeah. These are Thump HE, and then it has. This might have been taken out already, but shape charge torpedoes. Basically dumbfire, but
Is it still dumbfire?
oh, there it goes. The enemy has approached.
It's aggroed.
Yes. And technically this, the simple weapons back here are, I think they're GT CWIS, weirdly enough. Which, you know, as effectiveness goes, it's not the greatest, but it is a fairly
mean,
cheap rig.
Yeah, it's
And then,
one way to do CWIS.
right. And then the top firing flares.
Think it might be. Oh, it does quite a good amount of damage, but
Yeah, the missiles do a fair amount of damage, but they have been largely taken out, so... Yeah. It's not the hardiest design. I mean, it's got its weaknesses, but it is fairly cheap at 51,638 materials. So yeah, it's got the 5 medium heat torps, 5 medium Thump/HE missiles, and 3 top-firing small missile interceptors/flares, and then that, you know, simple weapon CWIS thing.
we shall not comment on the thing. CWIS.
But it's supposed to keep the front pointed towards the opponent, so fairly slopey profile.
Hard to hit, I assume.
Yeah, sort of. But being a fleet battle, it's probably gonna get, you know, chewed on from the side, so I wouldn't put too much stock in that. Still, it do what it do. Still gonna throw it in against some planes. I don't expect it to do very well against the planes. It's not... I mean... This may do something. It may just get blasted to pieces. But the missiles and torps are not going to be able to hit.
I think it has more tankiness than damage. One of those smaller tanks, perhaps.
I'm not sure.
It's taking those missiles quite well, and no issues. From what I can see.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very slopey design. It's got ring shield, I believe, inside, but the ammo's kind of clumped, so that's a potential flaw for it. If the ammo compartment gets breached and hit, it's probably going to blow the thing in two. And yet, fairly cheap design, possible escort. I don't know where all the planes have gone off to. They're just circling, I guess. Yeah, having a hard time damaging the planes. Oh, right. Remember, I'm trying to show off the internals briefly too. Remind me if I forget that. I'm not spending too much time on it, just want to actually get it down. Next up, we've got the Silverjaw. Or, excuse me, the Longjaw, then the Silverjaw. But these are both 60k. I believe they're...
They're Wongs again, I believe.
I think so. I believe that they're both versions of the same design. Longjaw. Longjaw, yes. Okay. Spun that a bit too far underwater there. But yes, more escape boats, so, I mean, all of the crew can get away. Some improved deco work here. We've got those carbines, which I think are really nifty. Head down.
Certainly, one of the... I really loved inspecting some of these myself, as they have a fair bit of character to them, in the sense that they have like crew quarters, and you know, it feels like home almost.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed Henry Wong's work with internals. It's just, they feel lived in, and I give kudos for that, like, every time. I do love it. Very similar, bridge design to the smaller class that we saw, but the down below portion, it's nifty. Something down here. No, that's doors to nowhere. Right. Okay. And where are the weapons, you might ask? Well, this one, the Longjaw, seems to be only equipped with these two large torpedoes here in the front, which are big boys. It's not going to do very well against planes, but we'll see how it tanks the hits. I won't leave the combat open for too long on this one. It can't damage them. And the planes crash into each other. Well... Game, you're proving me wrong.
The game likes to do that.
It certainly does. Not the tankiest. And my presence under the water is probably close enough to repair the thing. Let's see how it fares against... Oh, hang on. Gotta float to the surface there. Okay. We'll follow the torp in. Of course, I've got the enemies set to spawn at 2000. Ah, coming in from below. And that's definitely some major damage. Oh, it's AI dead. Nice. Proving it's not always the quantity, sometimes the quality.
Quality has a quantity all of its own, right?
That and the other way around. Okay, and then it was the Silverjaw. Silverjaw, where are you? Here you are. Which is a version, much like our last chip, but this one. Oh, yeah. Me and yes, I should have done that for the last chip as well, but ammo storage next to the AI. Seems sus.
No, I can respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I do it myself. But as far as longevity,
Well, you want to protect both of those two. Without it,
Yeah.
you're kind of dead. So
yes.
I do understand. Obviously, I might not have placed it in that particular manner, but you know, there's also a argument to be made to place your ammo and stuff on the outside of your craft.
I have heard this. I like the idea sometimes, placing it
Yeah,
below the craft. That can
almost
be-
well, I'm trying to keep aesthetics as well when I build my own, but sometimes just placing ammo on the deck and stuff is fine because it doesn't do much damage. If it blows up, and you know, that's about it.
Oh, as long as it's not chain reacting or
Yeah,
doing damage to critical systems. Yeah. But yeah, we've got planar shields. You can sort of just barely see the yellow haze from them there. I'm pretty sure connected to the turret. But this thing has the wobbles when in combat, so it's got that keel down below to help. One thing I've noticed with this one, sometimes these interceptors will get caught on bits of the superstructure also. Well, I guess they're not interceptors actually, but they'll fire might get like stuck trying to propel through the superstructure. not really the strongest weapon, but I'm trying to remember if this was also a Suez turret or not. I think so. Yeah. So it's DP. And does seem to be taking out the cram by and large. Granted, those are not the strongest cram, but it's doing so fairly efficiently. Not so great on damage, but fairly decent on Suez. And fight against some flames. I think it's suffering from the same flaw we saw on the other one, where it's getting stuck on the laser warner and not able to spin 360.
Oh well, that is somewhat unfortunate, but not the most fatal flaw in the tournament, I would say.
True. And the DPC was able to take out one of those planes when it got closer, so it does have AA capability. But let's see, next up we've got the Scarab, which is another entry of myself.
Oh my.
And this was originally supposed to be in the same fleet as the Nudibranch.
Did it pass the aesthetics? No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, this one has these large laser-designated explosive torps, and back in the day when Holopoint was better than it is today, I have the Super Cav Holopoint. So let's give it a quick test. I doubt it's going to do much against the planes. To be honest, I don't know. I guess... okay. I guess the APS actually can try and target them. Flying torps. was intended for Menti's squadron shootout. I never actually got to finish a fleet that beat the Gatekeeper, but there were some very hardy planes in that tournament that acted as cram bombers, and so I designed the entries to try to deal with them. The bane of my existence at that point in time.
Yeah, I made a APS bomber, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I did
And bombers.
I did try it out. It actually did a lot of damage to ships.
yeah, I was surprised that it was effective enough that cost per cost it could take out any entry, but except I think uh, Skite maybe or something like that. But that
This
kind of died to normal missiles. So
the Skythet didn't make it on
yeah,
aesthetics.
yeah. I'm talking about entries that did not make it.
Mhm.
Anyways, back to this. Apologies for the
Oh,
minor distraction.
it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind at all. But yeah, having trouble against the planes though. But yeah, cost-wise, 75,152. Reasonable damage on the torch barrage. Not as big as the larges we saw in earlier entry. But yeah, reasonably consistent form of damage. Let's see if the APS is doing much.
So what's
A
the
little hard to tell.
intended role of the Scarab? That's the interesting part for me. What's the intended roles of these entries?
Yeah, this would be absolutely anti-ship slash anti-sub, but there are no subs in the. Well, I mean, there is the one sub, but it's not really a sub.
It wasn't intended as a sub.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I wanted to give a view of the insides. Fairly tanky from above. Not so tanky from below. And my older Steam uh, designs, such as they are. Right, next up, let's see, the Elune. Ship. Okay. And this is a Viknot design.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah, his ships, they have a certain modern, like, destroyer, like,
Like a stealth ship.
yeah,
I
like
I do
slightly
know
future
the
design.
I do know the like design he's going for. It
Yeah, like
it's a little bit too much, but you know, it's
well, I'll admit this is when it doesn't have much by the way of like greebling and like little like deco design kind of work, but as like an overall ship shape design, it's
it
fine.
looks like a ship.
Right, right. It looks like a modern destroyer, sort of. Like that's what it's going for. There's another that actually looks even more so, but you can see the influence. Like that one, I forget what it's called. The American destroyer. That's like
Sumwol's class, I believe.
I'm not.
No,
Sure.
that has a different front. Never mind. That has like a stealth kind of front as well. Well.
But yeah. On this one, 87,589. And as for weapons, it's got one 4Q laser, two 100mm heavy head rail APS, two large HE missiles, and two small torp interceptors, and then a 4Q lambs. So, yeah, torp interceptors on the bottom.
Does it also have armor?
We shall see. Well, the poles are going to be helpful against chem shells. Although, it looks like... Oh, okay, it just shifts outwards. Slightly there. Quite a bit of alloy used, which definitely helps in the floatiness. Although the fuel up front seems like it's...
Oh, it's fine. Fronts don't get hit too much, or tend not to be hit too much unless you ram something. Engine though, scary. A steam engine, and it's well, it's defended by some armor, but it's well.
Yeah, it's possible to take out a piece on this and sort of, well, lower the potential of the entire thing. But it is going to be a fairly speedy ship, as we'll see here. And those large missiles, I'll follow those in. Oh. And it hits the superstructure, because of course. A rapid fire laser. I'm feeling that's going to be doing some good work against planes.
Oh yeah. I think Viknot made some really good entries for all-purpose.
Yeah, they may be generalists, but they're good at it.
My only issue with some of them is well, this one doesn't have it too much, but some of those entries have some stability issues.
Hmm.
So
Well, yeah, you can even see with this one, it's tilting a little bit, but
yeah, but
not horribly.
if you give it like a little bit of battle damage, it can really affect the performance of the craft.
Yeah,
But
and that's
definitely the Daka is good enough.
right, right. That's definitely something worth keeping in mind when doing your own testing is how it performs after taking some damage, and that's something that not everyone tests for. So, but yeah,
Yeah, true enough.
this thing's zipping along.
Quite high speed.
Yeah. So part of the tankiness on this one's evasiveness. Well, that's ships aren't going to evade a lot, but it helps a little bit. And I'll bring in some planes. I have a feeling it's going to probably demolish them fairly quickly.
But is it quick enough to get the... Or will the planes get the bombs dropped off before dying? It
Well,
seems the planes will get the...
not all
Yeah.
of them. Some of them, yeah. Managed to take one out before it could approach. The other two, dead after dropping off their load.
Luckily, I don't think there's any too harsh bombers in this one.
Yeah, I don't think there are any more.
No, I think there are fighters remaining. So
Pretty much.
Yeah, fairly good for air control though. Air superiority without well,
Yeah,
any attack planes can be a little bit redundant, but
yeah, there are a fair number of ships that do fairly well anti-air, more so than anti-ship, and then you have only a few planes. So, I mean, it is what it is.
indeed.
This is the Torp version. Instead of large missiles, these are now Torps. So potentially useful against
a ballast tank as well. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, potentially useful against the Suez entries that are out there.
There's not a lot of entries that has strong belly armor, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So if you include a ballast tank in your torpedoes, so they hit the belly, it can be quite deadly.
Agreed. Oh, and away they go. Getting a nice launch boost there.
Not too deep in the water though.
Right.
Quite.
I think that's.
So let's see. Oh.
Just missed on the second one.
Welcome.
Who did we have join us?
Spedicy.
Ah, welcome, Spedicy. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I can hear you now.
guess Discord was just being a little quirky.
Possibly, or something with mic settings. I don't know. I didn't actually hear you enter, so probably Discord.
That's an interesting ship layout.
This one is one of the Steel Strider's easy ships. I was just watching the damage occurring from...
He just doesn't want to bully the Marauder too much.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that's SS because it does not really look like it.
True. But they do have a couple... Yeah. Yeah, it's quite surprising now that I think about it.
yeah, both the Alloon and the Alloon Torpedo at 87,589 materials. Let's see, next up, after the Alloons, we've got the Pack Polaris, which is at 99,995, and comes with 4 piercing pack underslung. So where is the Pack Polaris? Here we are.
If you remember who the SS Kotal is.
And fairly powerful packs. You've got 4 of them, but they are piercing, so it's sort of relying on the RNG machine. The original was more plain. I sent it back for some aesthetic improvements, and it got a little bit more work done up top, a little bit of superstructure and some railing work. So
Yep.
doing our standard test against Thunderchild. If I remember right, these packs can shoot straight through it. Hit right.
I will admit, I was sort of expecting maybe pack submarines or something like that, but a destroyer?
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought that there probably would be pack submarines, but no such thing.
No such thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was expecting more than were received by way of both submarines and airships.
Oh yeah, I felt like airships would be the most common source, but perhaps 100k is just, you know,
Not quite enough. Yeah. I mean,
that middle ground between like being super strong and not quite strong enough.
yeah. Well, either that or people may just have a bunch of designs that are more expensive. I mean, I do think
Yeah,
it would be
definitely.
I do think it would be possible to build an airship within that range easily enough.
Oh yeah. I had a gunship in the works, but didn't finish it quite. Too much bothersome aesthetics on those angles and all that, which was...
Yeah. we can see that sheer number
Slope.
of wedge. Yeah.
Oof. I mean, wedge armor. Oof.
Yeah, there's another design that utilizes this. That we'll see
A lot of
a bit
the
later.
more meta-wise designs utilize that, but it's actually not the most powerful armor. Maybe in terms of cost, I haven't calculated that. But
Yeah, and it's not great against all types of damage. It's mostly, I mean, it's excellent against kinetic, but
it is great against all types of damage, which is why it's usually done. But you know, compared to other types of armor, I guess.
well, I'd make a case against that for HE. And of course, Thump kind of doesn't care about the angle of incidence.
Just doesn't propagate as much with this, I believe, is
Yeah.
the issue.
But yeah,
But-
we can see that one of the trouble with the packs relying on the RNG.
I'm surprised by the lenses used. I would have expected shotguns or those kinds of lenses, perhaps, but it's
I wonder if this might be.
vertical.
I
I
wonder if
believe it's called vertical
yeah,
lenses.
yeah. I wonder if this might be something to do. Like, I wonder if these would actually be able to aim at planes off in the
I
distance.
believe so, but then you're kind of stopped by the thickness of your boat, which this boy is very thick.
That is true. That is.
But definitely on initial approach, they should be able to shoot at planes.
We'll see. Check that out right now. Well, yeah, as long as they're far enough away.
At that range, I believe almost any lens could hit it, though.
Yeah, and
It's at this angle, I believe, it might have... Yeah, it can shoot really close. Nice.
yeah, well done there. So making more sense as to why the vertical lenses are being used there.
Yeah, though some damage on his own ship, I can see
Although,
now.
yeah, I'm seeing self damage.
So,
Firing
this-
angles.
yeah, this is... Yeah.
Yeah.
If the lenses were a little bit more forward, then this wouldn't happen, but at the same time, you can't protect them as well
Right.
at that point.
Yeah, but that the self damage.
Yeah.
Hurts a bit.
Hopefully no one has a plane that's attracted to this particular boat, so it self-damages. I know there is one or two planes that are really good at following targets, like right next to them, and at that point this thing would sort of kill itself, but hopefully the targeting will solve that. Sort that out before it becomes a issue.
And one last thing to do on this one is check the internals. Shall do. Of course, you've got the thick band of wedge armor and
Yay.
wood beams. These are wood,
Yeah.
but
But no defense against itself, it seems.
yeah. Being your own worst enemy. redundant steam engines. It's nice.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
We love redundancy.
indeed. Let's see. Next, the Orthogon. Okay, this is 103,831 materials ship that has 17 500 millimeter heat APS. And this design is so cool. Where are you, Orthogon? Here we are. I mean, what do you even call this? It's unique. Extremely unique. Really cool. Going at a decent clip, too. Let's see.
This is a ship?
Yeah! I know, right? Very, very unique design.
I like the uniqueness of it, definitely. It reminds me of Nobidex. He built something in a similar vein some years ago for a Menti tournament.
I think it's interesting when you look at it from above. Like, I would call it almost an abomination until I looked at it from above, and then it sort of reminds me of a bird, which I think is the whole purpose of the design.
To me, it almost seems like a, I don't know, like a hang glider kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, when you say it, that's yeah.
How is that thing even not tipping over to the left or right? What is it
That's-
using?
I believe it's using this.
It
And the slight angle from the rear.
and you
wing
could
as well.
potentially use some balancing on propellers as well.
Yeah.
If you view the
It's also got-
propulsion forces, you can probably see what's stabilizing it.
And what is keeping it up in the air though? Because it does seem a bit out of whack. Like a whole lot of weight on top and
It
just a
will make
little bit.
sense once you see the propulsion forces. There you go. That's what's keeping it, upwards.
Yeah.
The yellow?
A lot of it seems to be on this too.
Yeah, those big flappers. Just a bit of flag HG or something like that, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It's-
expect people to bring that in. So yeah,
It's an interesting design, at least.
no, very much. I really applaud the designer for doing this. This is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. Unfortunately, if it gets hit right up here, these ammo barrel or the ammo storage can entirely sever the top from the bottom.
it has happened a couple times during. I've had a couple of free for alls and a couple of fleet battles, like potential fleets and stuff, and
Yeah.
interesting design. Just scary if something hits it in the middle section and it kind of splits in half.
Right, but like the thin profile is nice, but if there is that lucky shot, then it's pretty devastating. I'm not sure if it's even set to aim at things that are too high. Didn't seem to have any interest in the planes. But it's turning reasonably enough without any problems on tipping. And we get to see how it tanks damage. Which is...
Oh well,
we won't call it the
it's
sturdiest, but
it's still boating, or whatever
yes.
it is doing.
Right. It's skimming. I think this would probably classify as a skimmer.
Oh, would that classify as a skimmer? Huh, interesting. Yeah. More you know.
Probably the closest thing.
Right? Yeah, it's hard to classify something like this. But
Actually, no, I believe the technical term for that is whatchamafucket.
yes.
Those all diff guns.
I believe
Yes,
so.
I believe so.
It does take a while,
Oh,
but
always satisfying to look at lots of damage and confetti.
yeah.
I think
The,
that's an AI dead, perhaps, or did it just stop?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well done, Orthogun.
It has more firepower. It just stops once the target is dead. So
Yeah, I believe, if I remember right, that it might also have ammo switching capability. I think... No, okay, it's not this one. It's a different design that did.
different entry.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I misremembered.
I do know of the ones you speak though.
But this, yeah, big old heat shells. And yeah, just tons of heat. Bring in the heat! The heat wave!
Oof.
But yeah, the original on this one had slight problem of ramming the opponent, and so I sent it back to get the AI fixed, so it does not anymore. But that certainly a most unique design in the tourney.
Don't like rammers, I hear.
Yeah, ramming behaviors, well, not allowed for this one. Let's see. After the Orthogon, we've got the Siege ship, clocking in at 110,000. And it's got one 250mm APS, 10 cram, 4 500mm APS mortars, which is weird to say, 6 medium HE missiles, and 2 top-firing small missile interceptors. Siege ship.
I really enjoy those angled cram cannons on the side. Just something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. I wish that the mortars worked a little better than they do, because the concept is really cool, but like they don't fire very easily. But let's throw it into some combat. Not a lot of cram entries in the tourney. This is definitely the most cramtastic. Missiles doing their part. Unfortunately, the cram seems to be having, well, was having some accuracy issues. How's it doing on taking the damage? Okay-ish? I mean, I don't think I've seen the ATS mortars fire. I don't have strong confidence in these.
Silly question time. Were cram mortars banned or something?
No, there's no ban on mortars in general.
Really? And what's the...
Actually a fairly open rule set in my
Oh,
opinion.
what's the what do you call it again? Auto detect. Wow, hard word.
Oh, auto
One.
detect one. Yeah.
Really? And nobody brought mortars?
Yeah, it's
Right?
surprising. I was
Like-
surprised by really just
Yeah.
the entries in general.
Yeah, well, a lot of entries ended up being like slightly retrofitted old tournament entries.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
odd.
which are like limited by other stuff. Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense.
So they
Was that the rule to bring something old?
no. I mean, it was mostly wide open except a few restrictions as far as cost and what the different classifications could do. Let me
Really?
yeah,
Oh.
let me actually go in and on the rule set. So, yeah, I mean, you have the general bans: no EMP, no Lua, no repair bots, no repair tentacles, nothing from the LAM tab, no rams, tactical newts, or ramming behavior, no tractor beams, basically, pulling in other designs, no sub-object stacking or spin clipping, and a lack of aesthetics without decos, just to avoid basically meta abominations.
Yeah, I had to put wings on my plane. First time
Really?
I've done that in a really long time. That isn't decoed wings because everyone knows wings are just extra drag for
Yeah.
our beautiful plane.
You don't need wings, actually, really. You just need more propulsion.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
Yeah.
I figured I would need to place block wings to get past that rule. But
Oh.
Bluethorn says he considered Cram, but with several strong LAMS / CWIS systems, I thought missiles more versatile, which is interesting.
That does seem to be, like you see some of the first submissions influencing later designs as far as what
Yeah,
was
true.
submitted.
Very true. Though honestly, a brawling Cram ship, fairly sure it would do
There
well.
is one sort of. It's only got one cram, but it is like a small Doom cram.
Hmm.
but I was gonna throw it.
That little
Where-
yellow ship, though, it does look fun with all its guns poking out all sides.
Yeah,
That is true.
indeed. Where is Harness when you need him? He likes to do crap. Or at least he did. But,
Oh, it still does. I happen to know.
And
oh,
I-
does he?
I happen to know that another chap is rather proficient in cram, right?
Oh no. Oh no.
I say nothing.
Crams are scary things.
In the right hands, they can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. But they're very situational.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, those were shots from the mortars.
I would have expected airburst, but
It-
from
yeah.
such slow shells, but you know, maybe.
Yeah, so I am thinking that these mortars are set up as anti-air.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have worked if it was like a big, slow bomber aircraft, for example. It would work.
Yeah. Oh, there were.
Nice! Wow.
That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Wait a second. Did that come from that little yellow box?
Yeah.
Those. Is that just an apps diff thing, making it look like it's a missile launcher? That's hilarious if that's the case. Or is it actual missile? What is it?
They're
Those are
missiles.
missiles.
No, these
yeah.
are missiles. Yeah,
Ah.
these are missiles.
That would be
Nice.
funny though.
These.
It would definitely be.
Oh, I'm going to make a tournament entry at one point where I disguise all my systems as other systems.
That would be so hilarious, just for the sake of it.
Like my APS fires missiles and my missiles fire APS.
Well, your missiles are just aircraft, you know? Hey, you got decorations. Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually make some very detailed airplanes with those decorations on missiles.
These.
Commander,
So-
it appears
These
it
do
appears
have
we've hit a
timed
building
fuses.
system. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying for the mortars, they do have timed fuses, so it's very possible that
Yeah,
they
I
might
was
have an airburst.
I was expecting airburst, but it didn't seem
Does
to
it have
occur.
the laser? Does it have the
Yeah.
laser? Yeah?
Yeah,
That's the
let's take a
question.
look. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
I
No? No, that's an
see
input.
no laser.
Laser targeter.
There we
Ah.
go. Yeah. Oh wait.
It is also set. It was set to 0.9.
Ah.
Oh, safety distance.
Yeah, that might have been the reason why. When
Ah.
the first plane was shot at, it might have been lower than 50.
But still, as a anti-close-in bomber thing,
Yeah, I
That's
think
pretty
that's
fun.
pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I like that. I like that. So it definitely has some AA potential. Again, though, not so many plane submissions. So
And would stop the stronger ones, sadly.
yeah. Oh, hang on.
I
I need
strongly
to show off the
consider.
inside.
Right. Huh. Without tipping off opponents, what you think is. Well, I always find brawling ships and designs the most interesting.
Yeah,
I'm reading what Bluethorn is saying in chat.
Okay. I have a tendency to like close combat myself. I mean, sniping absolutely has its place, and I just think it's not quite as fun for tournaments, right? Like, you see the ship fire from long distance, and, well, right, let's see. After the siege ship, we've got the Dapper King Wenceslas, which is another design of mine. This was actually an entry of mine into Newbie Rumble. So back in the day, 123,638 materials.
Back in the day when I could still enter Newbie Rumble, is that what you're saying, Sean?
This was like Newbie Rumble 2 or 3 or something like that, though.
Oh wow.
So yeah, back in the day. But yeah, this one's got 2,000 millimeter cram, like light doom cram level, like it's squeezed in there. One 200 millimeter heat APS, and 2 large heat torps, and then flares.
Oh my.
Oops.
See, it lacks superstructure.
Yeah, it's more of a speedboat design.
Yeah, yeah. We have. Is that an APS Doom gun or is it?
No, the cram is probably more effective um, than the APS. The APS,
Oh,
it functions. It's okay. It's fairly slow shells, so
oh right. So it's a heat.
yeah.
Yeah. Scary once you don't protect against heat.
Right? And then the cram here, I mean,
Ooh, there is a Cramcraft in the tournament.
yeah,
How exciting.
this is the one that I was mentioning. So pretty decent cram damage.
Yeah, look at that damage. That is,
It's a 5,000 capacity in 27 seconds. That's nice.
Yeah, the powers of 3D cram. Then you got the. Oh, hang on. I am locked on the turret, so it doesn't want to recognize the main craft here. Sticky flare. And radar simulator. So. And large heat torps.
do you use all that heat? I mean, HE to generate heat, or is it
Yep.
a mix?
Well, yeah, most of it's.
Yeah,
heat.
most is just straight up heat. Yeah. All right.
I mean,
Hey, it doesn't have a ballast tank now, did it?
Nope.
Nope.
So
Oh.
that's
Yeah, it's dumb fire mostly.
sadly going to hit most
but
likely
this-
the side armor, I believe.
Yeah, this
ship.
this
If anything at all.
This is a brawler though. Well, bring in the planes first.
Gun APS maybe can hit. Nah, 300.
I'm gonna laugh if they're going to eat a scram shell.
Yeah, probably not the best anti-air defense.
Right. Really, it's not. It is a fairly tanky design though. It's got ring shield.
All your designs are tanky, Sean. All of them.
I plead the fifth. It's
Hey, this is not a submarine.
Go for. No.
He's not using the altitude on things to consider if it's.
Yeah, it seems to have trouble actually hitting the planes. So.
I believe those torpedoes, though, are going to do some nasty things to that Thunderchild. Was that
I
an
think so, yeah.
RTG I saw?
There is one RTG in this ship. Yes.
Oh no! What is this?
Yes. One RTG.
It was for Newbie Rumble, right?
Yeah, it was for Newbie Rumble.
Understandable. Have a good day.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. RTGs have their place. It's mainly me doing.
RTGs have their place. It's outside your ship. Nah, it's best. I think best used in what? In the campaign maybe. When you really don't want to spend a dime on future
Yeah,
movement
or
costs.
the adventure mode. It's pretty
Yeah,
darn good
I
in
think
adventure mode.
adventure mode certainly has its place because you get a safety net in doing so, but in campaign you get too much materials anyway, so it's fine. And usual campaign tournaments you can build fairly efficient crafts without RTGs, so its cost is a bit too high.
Seems like the cram already hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where are the torpedoes?
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're not hitting. And I
I
doubt they'll ever will.
Oh, they will if they get close enough, or the ship gets close enough.
the APS cannon is certainly
There we
doing
are.
a good. Oh, this is gonna be nasty.
I want to
Maybe
see this.
If they,
Oh! So close, yet so
If
far.
I had a phone, I could have said I called it.
Yeah. True. Very true. I think you could have gotten a bit of performance with some APN guidance on those torpedoes.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I didn't really spruce up the design or anything. I just submitted what there was, so.
Oh wow! Oh wow! I see how it is.
Well,
Let me
we got
just
another
sip a
chance
full.
here. Nope.
They go out of their way to miss. I like that. Good
Let me
spirit.
just sip a folder of varying performance vehicles and no.
Take
Cram cannon is doing a fair bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing the job. It's just not picking a great aim point.
And
Oh, well, maybe one of the bigger entries,
right.
like the Sand Blaster or something.
Bigger, slower, closer. Pick any of the three.
Uh, hey, yeah, at least the cram cannon is doing its job.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean-
fracks eaten.
You can't really get much closer than this. Maybe ramming speed, and then you could hit it with the torpedoes. But yeah.
Oh, it's this
gonna
spawn before it can hit. No. Oh, hey there. There you go.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Fun times.
I'm sure this one will be picked for a fleet, right?
Yeah, I think this one is a first for many people.
Well, definitely. If you're up against some heavy ships, you can pester them with this. I mean,
You know, that would be
Cram will do.
interesting if you run another combined in the future.
Mhm.
Have it be like you can pick one craft and then it moves on to the next person and he can pick one craft, and like you basically exclude that craft for anyone else.
A
So-
draft of sorts? A
It
dra- a
can
Yeah,
draft.
draft. Yeah,
That would
yeah.
be
Oh.
interesting.
You could do something like that also with the design. Actually, you have to make a design up to a point and then pass it on to someone else, and then see which
Yeah,
design ends up winning.
true.
Okay. Yeah. Next up, we've got the Vicnot Victory, which disclaimer: the hull is made by Vicnot. I did the weaponry. So it's 206,779 materials.
I feel like Wicknot is really carrying this tournament with all the things he submitted. Yeah, there we go. It's one of those. Is it that as big as the other big entry?
It, I mean, it's based on the same hull design.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the same hull. It's
Hmm.
just
Uh,
different weapon loadouts and stuff. I
yeah,
believe.
yeah, this one is my submission. So the weapon loadout is what I added in. He's got a version I actually think is better than this one. That has a different weapon loadout. Uh,
Yeah, I think the sister ship to this one was the one I was planning to use for my flagship.
yeah, I think that's the Adun,
Yeah, yeah, a
which
Dune.
is it's more expensive by about 50K, but
Yeah, it was more expensive, but a really good
yeah,
support vessel. This one is
indeed.
more of a yeah. What is the role of this one, Sean, Mister Designer?
I mean, it was supposed to be anti-air because it does that pretty well, but again, it it's in a role that doesn't matter all that much in the tournament proper. Oh, also, I should mention we're into the ships now that there are not going to be more than one in a fleet because they are over half the budget of the tournament. So here we've got 206,779, and the fleets are allowed to be up to 400,000 in materials. But yeah, this one is weapon loadout. We've got one 201 millimeter hollow point heat APS, two 66 millimeter hollow point heat APS, four 3.7-inch AA flak simple weapons, which actually do their job really surprisingly well. Three medium frag torps, and 13 small interceptor missiles, and then flares. So,
So this is a ship that should be able to kill the approaching jets before they can get a shot off. I hope.
uh, yeah, we'll
The
we'll 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 throw it into combat shortly here, and see how well it does. But yeah, if there was a flaw in this one, and it's been pointed out, the front weapon is lightly armored. It's a big old APS cannon, and there's not much room for it in here. So the side armor is pretty thin.
yes, I like it. Do
But
you at least have diffuse boxes on that, or
yeah, this is like mostly four clip uh
wait? This
or four.
looks like a complete powder keg. What is this? If something blows up inside there, it might.
I mean, it, I mean, like, yeah, you're probably gonna lose the turret, sure. But like it does work. Like this is at the 66. We wanted, what was it, 200? Was it 201? Okay. For that secondary heat there.
Is that a party shell I see?
Kind of. It's hollow point heat. Which, yeah, it's kind of weird, but it functions pretty well. And then you've also got the same shell for these casemates here on the side.
Interesting choice of mantlet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's meant for ships there, the side weapons. But we'll throw it into some combat. First off, ship to ship.
Cannon is certainly going to do a little bit of damage at least.
Yeah, I expect the cannon will probably get taken out before Thunderchild does, but it...
Wrapping paper. Sorry. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm just reading some of the comments in the background.
Oh, okay. Doing fairly well, but then again, the cannon has survived.
The cost difference is...
Yeah. You've got the tethered flares.
By the way, Sean, before you despawn this one, due to combat damage or something like that,
Yeah.
I want you to blow up that front. I just want to see what will happen. Will the knob fall off?
How about I throw it against something a little heftier? Let's see if I can... There we go.
I'm surprised that didn't kill the... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. A little bit of damage on the turret, and the whole turret goes. Well, mostly.
I wanted to see if you had any failsafe, like, say, if the health and armor of the autoloaders would counteract the explosion, but seems not.
No, but it doesn't blow up the whole front of the ship. It just takes out the turret. But that said, it takes out the turret.
So even though it's more efficient to build a turret with clips in them, I have recently started to just use autoloaders instead, just because of certain shell designs don't do enough damage, so if it blows up, it will not kill the craft or the cannon.
Okay, let's see if it can take out the planes before they get there or not. I don't think it'll take them all out, but then again...
That's one plane down.
That's one.
Come on. You can do this.
That's 2.
That's 2. Heck yeah. Hey!
Hey! Yeah. Quality anti-air.
Oh, yes.
But, yeah, again, not too much call for it in the tourney. But definitely better anti-air than anti-ship, we'll say. Let's see, next up, after the, not victory, we've got the Prywin, which is ship at 250,894. But I'm just going to end this video here, pick it up right away with another video, simply for the upload time on YouTube. So I'm gonna
Sounds good.
switch that over. So, as always, as ever, enjoy.